Akroma Emra POG Media Social so mam say ene day di kan we share mo haso ya obetimi ahite on the notification bell. Subscribe to the channel. Na afi channel no emfa na hoodin enkura. Se be next time bia no yebetimi enya ahoden stronko na yede adefoforo asomo channel yi so. Political stories are trending, make headlines pa and ya yedi a somewhat channel yi so. Yes so ni be a hit room na afi yedi amount. Shannon Mami say LGBTQ plus who be la minority in a majority call adwin krumu itimi ede omunsa shase say empaniampa emayemra organ hasi say be ya bitimi abogi in lesbianism ho ban no ehun sensem etuntwa kra enya asembotoa NPP for umkofa bae se suswampa enka emayemra na afi sa sabio son sebie nyado sansem huno no enka etuo intwa kra no sana NPP for ni bi ehyehyase a omene me fan se parliament enya adwen despite say omon a pass bill no a omotwen the president of the land nanado dankwa Akuffo Addo say obetimi appending signature no omone no enya adwen say we ebetimi ababayemra awogana hase Kevin Taylor etimi eleki hot audio enya asem koto akra what the guys to asema making ye bobo brena so ye na afi ye hu idio Shannon Mami say ahase a POG Media
ewo Ghana no ehun sunsanso de we anhwe ya yekuro no de ye bedi kura be ye den enso Akuffo de catch as Ghana beyond aid omotima chichire man to the point ye self sufficient ye den ende sa de we a anka wo say ye pretty simple our president Addo in Sasha Assent abedani asem wo Ghana ye sorry enda ye the finance minister ye Amin Adams ono so ye teni oye nkremoni eni ntina maka kire mu se eba eye ende Ghana ye nuanom nkremofo ni bi eguye ni ma se papa these Muslims especially in this NPP way no they are a disgrace to the northern region and they are a disgrace to Muslims in Ghana. I'm telling you, every time dia NPP aban we bedin kwasi asembia no sebio anye ceremonia eye nkrimonia owo NPP mu onu na die nim anything last time busa am say Mahama Bawumia na so ye nkrimonia opeso odi Ghana nim no eba trumu an stance ne sen nkremofo mo Ghana nyina ye din obi ankasa Matisse the office of the chief imam put about 14 points of things almost political parties looking at. They could not specifically question Bawumia, who is also a Muslim like the chief imam said. When it comes to Trumu, where does he stand? And the biggest office when it comes to Islam in Ghana, they cannot question Bawumia where his stance is. And I'm ashamed and disappointed in the office of the chief imam. I'm telling you, I am ashamed. As much as I respect the chief imam, and I respect him, and that respect will never go anywhere, but as a whole, as the office, I am ashamed and I'm embarrassed that the whole chief imam's office cannot issue a statement questioning Mahama Bawumia, who is a Muslim, where his stance are when it comes to LGBTQ issue in Ghana. I am ashamed and I'm embarrassed. And it is not supposed to be like this. We are all supposed to be principled. When we say we need to be principled, our principle is missing. The Islamic principle in Ghana is gone. There's no principle. What does the Islam and the peace religion represent in Ghana today? What do they represent? It is looking more like today and the NPP, it does not represent truth again. But what I know deep down in my heart, Islam, which is a religion of peace, and Allah in his own wisdom, his messenger Muhammad, peace be unto him, the genuity and honesty he has used in protecting every single human being who is on earth, whether a Christian or a Muslim. I know that there is still, or Allah still believes that Christians in Muslims in Ghana will never disgrace him. But today it's looking like Muslims, they have disowned Allah. They have disowned the principles of Allah. The Muslims in Ghana have disowned the word in the Quran. As we speak here today, the office of the chief imam and imams in Ghana cannot question Bawumia as a Muslim where he stands. They can't do it. And then another Muslim who is leading the finance ministry came out to say, ende agyenkyere Ghana fo nyina akɔkyerɛ parliament no. Se eye Akuffo de nsa hya ase a eye sika bi anka wo se yenya as a country no sa sika ne nsanka. It is looking more like NPP Abai led by Bawumia in Kremoni. Adams, finance minister in Kremoni, no, they will choose money over Allah. This is a clear example. It has gotten to the point where men who are supposed to serve Allah, who are supposed to be servant of Allah, are today choosing money over the principles. They are choosing money over the word of Allah. They are choosing money over their creator. It's a big haram. This is the biggest embarrassment and the biggest curse any man can inherit on this planet. Like a Muslim today defending money over Allah. What are the principles of Allah? What does Allah say when it comes to LGBTQ? What are your beliefs? Why can't you make a stand? But we get a Muslim today standing because of politics to tell Muslims and the world, we need money, we want money, and that we don't need the word of Allah. The word of Allah brought us here. And in the Bible and the Quran, the word is Allah. So why are we neglecting the word today? That is why when you read the Bible, John said he will never be ashamed of the gospel. Today, Islam, Muslims, who are supposed to be the followers of Allah, who are supposed to be the men who carry the word of Allah, are ashamed of Allah's word. The true gospel of Allah, we as Muslims, some of us in the NPP, because of money, now the most interesting thing about this whole thing is say who study the echo about trumu we and the NPP for kasa bebre Akuffo Addo say trumu naba, he has to speak on fan and sanshia and the NPP for me catch them some time back say about trumu we are the court. The same way the E-levy court, the Ghana card court. They know say Ghana for ye jiminti. Some person ye Ghana bonia. The ye say the koma tokonu. First the koma enini yabwa and the the koma tokonu. Akuffo Addo is the president of Ghana. Ye nyina akoshia parliament. Ye nyina MPs akoshia say this is what we want. Nana Danko Akuffo Addo today is saying say BBSC into ultimate finance and shase. Let us read Akuffo Addo's statement. The Akuffo Addo say original suntia ultimate finance and shekratana say emma trumu embe ye de haram e Ghana. Mamen kind the Akuffo Addo e kachre and anadri. President Akuffo Addo on anti-LGBTQ bill. This is Akuffo Addo and I quote, I am aware that last week's bipartisan passage by Parliament of the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill on a private member's motion has raised considerable anxieties in certain quarters of the diplomatic community and amongst some friends of Ghana that she may be turning her back on her. It's also enviable long-standing record on human rights observance and attachment to the rule of law. I want to assure you that no such backsliding will be contemplated or occasioned. Or say, now what you mean? What say a year Parliament MPP ni NDC for you committee boom. Amende de embrabi abeto se eye trumu eye Ghana for omusi o name of Parliament no oma je atumu se trumu de e wo se embra etia e wo Ghana. Na mom no de wasatete say eye Ghana for nyonkofo a omo ya abrofo ewo Europe, America, ewiasa fa na nyina ye ni omudi insawoso no. We hu se eye abrofo no se eye emra ya ye agya tumi no. Emra ne ye mra bi a ebema den eye nipa fa ahodie ene nipa sebio na motena ye a eho eye krogen no ebe tietia nipa fa ahodie so ye ka no human right, fundamental human right no. Ose wate se abrofo no America fo no UK fo no kasa omom ne yedi dwuma bom no kasa se saa mra no ono Akuffo de nsa sha ase a ebema nipa fa ahodie so no ebe kire se ye tietia so na Akuffo de no se asema mo kan de ni ngina so efi se Ghana de ye nyina enim se nipa fa ahodie ene se ne bebo nipa ho ban ne de eya de da yakoma so na oman we oman a ya adwene se ye ntietie nipa fa ahodie so yenko enim. I think it will serve little purpose to go at this stage. Sorry, I think it will serve little purpose to go at this stage into the details of the origin of this proposal law, which is yet to reach my desk. Or see, baby, I dream pempenso I read it. On person be kasache, on person be chin samaba, on person sebio eye adia yakata so be so. On pese ko mininis ene insambia emu onwirim emu yanyam ewo mu no on pese ode ne nsabeka na emom no de obeka ne se eye emra we a ye ka ho asem se parliament agiatum se turumu de yanji ye turumu yanji emrantum na entia no ose ono kra de ne desk otena ho jubilee house obi amfa mre no ose ne ni kosue ehu bi se bo jimi ne Nicaragua fo asofo eye ahemfo akese na 2014 mu ye campaign o Ghana from Asantimemu to Enkramemu to eye Homemu to eye Boko to baby ano o say sa trumu na parliament eka se omo de mbre bia ba na etia na o se ono Akuffo Addo agove achichide ba tan ohumpo emeduru ne desk so ohun just ohun frama samo jimi Nicaragua fo mi chirechirem okole ni mo say but also nenso but Veronica said butter also nenso but surface is to say that I have learned that today a challenge has been mounted at the proposed legislation. I see. Even though sa emrana parliament say ye nyina MPs got na parliament ka say trumu ye nyina mfa nkoma president on san ase na ye ngin tumi say enya de pa na wo ya ye emrana ubedi no
betimi a subscribe betimi a comment wa share na fi afofra omunso omun ehunu ye nso ehunu ne ekoso ewo mangana house yi shanso mami say NPP fo bi no mo na omu enya adwene say omu kwadwin kromo, let me put it that way, say Bailey ebitimi ababa yemra awagana ha na mebusa, is it pressure from the international scene and I say afi no mu ehu say bill no ye pass ya eno no ebititia Ghana fo bi no mu ho fa hodi so ana and I say a pressure from the international communities, because US to me I'm making emphatically clear say at the moment a bill EBT Mababa Yamra Ghana House with regards to international aids there EBT me abo Omaya Ghana and abo muhuana because a year gabi ochidakon NPP udima kwatenepa woni position bia wo mu so udima kwatenepa obeka se be ne de pass ya emwa oman Ghana sanso ena Ministry of Finance the new minister elect and so atimia chena being say bill ye pass ya ebaha oman Ghana abojofo nso atranse a omoye asemu pinsim mu ye boboro maso ye na ye hu ni ekoso hopote
o see onu podi ohun mpo onti ho asem endru ne table so na dia wat ne say o see dia wat ne say but surface is to say that I have learned that today a challenge has been mounted at the Supreme Court by a concerned citizen to the constitutionality of the proposed legislation. Or see, but they what to say Ghana ni bio onim ne da onsia ne da onim bebi mpo Ghana ni free Ghana ni the assembly nyina ko Supreme Court. One or say asem no onhu ye emedra ne desk so until wasem Tumutum na aja to parliament say yentwam emra na ya share parliament say mema obi aja tumutum Ghana no Akuffo so no ye president ponte ye eni ne desk so na embom de watene say Ghana ni bi ono hu ne da oni me bi ofri oni ne maame say sa tumutum mra na ya aja to Ghana say eni say ekoso wo ya emra tia no o say Ghana di bi say etia edian ye kabi mami kebi ene ye edian ye fa ahudie emra ebo ye ho ban ye constitution no Ghana ni bi say or the court ama court a chirem inti eno na wate ya pass of parliament wante or say embedu ne desk so nanso dey see the wate say obi the Supreme Court now mami jujum in the circumstances it will be as well for all of us to hold our hands and await the decision of the courts before any action is taken. Or see, in tenmenum hayandie, or say Ghana for yina yanso yansa odom na yanum nso twan ope. Enkopim se court be jatum de on de oni de obey. Or see, imprempren ya de yankutakuta yansem yanfo nuado yansresre. Our time also can they also yeah and the on team was a baby doing desk so then many mum dear as some copy Supreme Court now yani Ghana for yes run up near so yen sim ye the do as so yen sim na ya num so twan ope e copy say or no Supreme Court judge now oyi no Justice Tokonu na onim the reason why you try Ghana passport to no onim why somebody can use a passport or say yen twan no Madam Tokonu no Supreme Court na otna Supreme Court e ka che Ghana for se mema Jemensa embetna eye Supreme Court enchire the win election or say yen twen na sa maame na yen ja asam ne maame no okore nim no say the operation of the institutions of the Ghanaian state will determine the future trajectory of the rule of law and human rights compliance in our country. I say Ghana mra na be kire Embra ebo Ghana ho ban eye enjumaku a yede Ghana mra esi omo na aso no omo na yenhwe omonim na omo nhwe enhwehwem enya abotre empensempensemu se eye sa mra na parliament agya tum se eni se obi aye turumuturumu o Ghana no e wo se egitum ana se eni se egitum ana se e wo se ono no ode ne nsa e hya ase enti de Akuffo Addo ka nyina no se obo de tofa o se mra na omo kwa ne parliament no nten ho asem obian fambra bia metu nenim de watene se obi de court enti yan twan na court ni nya na dwuma nwie ono de onfa ne nsa nhase ne enfa ne nsa nhase ochra se obo na asem nyina tofa na na adodan ko Akuffo Addo no Bawumia se LGBTQ eya bill na parliament pass ye no o se onfa ne nsa nhase so obi te brofo chan me a onfa de we no kasa Kevin Taylor twantro enchirechiremu na ochirechiremu no oboa so wo born tough bro this say when you want to summarize what I said to you or say embra no mo share no krampo no one te obiampo amfa mbre ne say on sign and a two what say obi the court enti ama Ghana court no any institutions are edi ho dwuma no enya ho adwuma for now no de onfa ne nsa bia nhye krata bia ase na unim de ya wasem we nyina mo o kan sa asem wo wie no na peace council for ebusa o say na mo so turumuturumu aseba abaya se Akuffo Addo fa ne nsa nhase peace council wo kwa ye o Muslim asofo mpanifo na wo ho e Christopher asofo mpanifo na wo ho eye Ghana ahemfo ho Ghana edien eye nipa hu titiru na wo peace council omo na mo se Ghana nyina nyansa na omo tirim na wo se winter ba ebufuo ba omo no moto Ghana omo na Ghana de amamre ni amane omo bo ho ban omo bo de ya peace ana se ya fa ahodie ho ban omo kasa ne omo nyansa na kekere man no nti omo na ye Ghana nyansa fo ye busam se bobo peace council for bibia betumi de tokwaba asembia ba franka asiso inti assembly nso ncha assembly moso mu ye mpenifo mu ye Ghana fo mo ma o Ghana mo yere no mo Ghana mo ginagina nsori anim moso mo ye Ghana fo na mo adwene kire ewo eye anti LGBTQ embrace parliament pass no mo adwene kire ne sen almost say we don't have a position on the passage of the anti-LGBTQI bill because we are mediators. We don't take sides on issues like this. I'm going to say, oh, yeah, dear. No crap, I bet my catch. I'm going to say, anti-LGBTQ, Trumutuma Parliament pass ya, I was say, for the sign, now you making sure say, a nyambra organ. I'm going to say, oh, peace can say, any biaka, yeah, dear. Yeah, bit my can say, any who are you biha. Now, some tears say, yeah, dear, in Tokosia and your baba patapata. Yeah, dear, Juma dear no, sir, Juma dear will be the young Kanwasam. Yeah, gun of woman. You're quite sorry, you're Christopher, you're the answer, you're solve problems. Almost oh, but about way, dear, you're Kebi. You're peace council for, you're dingy moo, inti, say, you're better to more young to Momo Casa, peace council. Where a peace council? Where we in Penifua, sa adia we ba, na se bia, ya kobu obi kuno, se, asime sibi se ya pasemra na ya hu se asime sibi ni be ma bi nam o makosha dem nti o mo practice trumutum nti enko bo omku omo na e wo se yenya panyini bi beka se we nkyere se o mo ye gays nti enko bo omku no o mo se o si ade mo ni adwene ya ntwen me ka kire mo se NPP fo asai Ghana panyini ni Ghana biem se bi o mpanifo Ghana kuma bi nanim nyansa mo dwene Ghana ho impenifo dodo mo Ghana Akuffo Addo ne Bawumia asay omo inti sa oko parliament a afenyo makina ende ne girlfriend enua bema molest obi ba we 3 years no afenyo makin say I don't mind if the people of Efutu vote against me because of my stance on the matter. Afenyo makin say asem no e wo say eye trumutumu emra na ogina parliament mo share no waba bonta beka say already otia sa mra no o say omo to abama no be ye afenyo makin ende abenya eye majority leader aye o say Trumu a on support say yemba ne nti se nkofo be twetie na omfo mkwase anko no no muntuntia no otenkran e na o ka kire futufo say omonim ye hare omo ahemfo ene omo asofo ene nkofo mugu afutuo so omo ye nkwaseafo so omo pese omo tutia na omo tuntia no omo ye moa afenyo markings and the messenger because of trumu a all catch Ghana for say and then no trumu no abe ye be say etia no so on de ontia na se afutu fo no moto abama no so omo ntia se omo fom kwase antena ho omo tuntia no afenyo marking asama ogina parliament e ka kire mo afe wo hu de ade ne ko afe you see where we are heading. Debi ameka me say parliament ye pass law a Ghana fo nyina na yaka etia bom enti adan ntina mo president no say yaka etia bom say BBC adan on person beye maka kire mu from day one. These people are not in power because of you. I have told you from day one. Sanko for we and the oko parliament akotie afenyo makin or kasamuntie no or see oh asem we yemfa court me engine to make Akuffo Addo sign afenyo makin o or see some run on what count on G2 more parliament no what done no about say oh yemfa court and sana court in here say anti-LGBTQ bill no e was say ye man ye eye den eye emra Ghana mratia afenyo makin muntie no
that the issues that members of parliament led by my good self raised ought to be tested by the Supreme Court of the law of the land. I mean, we are a growing democracy. This is not an emotional journey. This is about laws that have to do with the rights of citizens. So the test here is whether or not a sexual right, which is in itself being brought to question, should lead to a criminal penalty. In other words, if as a nation we say that our value systems do not support a man-to-man relationship, woman-to-woman relationship, are we also saying that the means of reforming people with that orientation is to incarcerate them? How does this position stand in accord with the Constitution? Also, the issues of advocacy, saying that a media house cannot take certain steps. How do we juxtapose that within the context of the Constitution? All these are matters that I believe that if they are tested in our Supreme Court is going to help us to bring this matter to a good rest. For me, like I've always said, it is good to legislate against same-sex relationships. It's good to legislate and even criminalize those who will entice underage, young boys who are not of age, adults who try to engage in pedophilia. Those ones, yes, because a child below 18 does not have the necessary means to take a decision. It's not an adult enough per our laws. So you cannot entice such a person. That's for that one, we agree. But if you say that when somebody is in that situation and the person must suffer a jail term, I think that there's a problem.
You see, this is where I have a problem with some of the legislators, and I say NPP for no, and some of the journalists. This law, BRÓヂK say, not everything in that law at the end of the day is supposed to be agreed on. And people like us, rational human beings, at saying, we agree. Maybe some of the things in the law is too extreme. Now, you don't make the argument to say, because somebody is practicing something that Ghana sees as wrong, you know, that person, no, so Oya Bonia, they don't deserve to be punished. From Afinomakin's argument, you know, that means to say, so Oya Boni Bia Tia Ghana Mra, you are not supposed to be sent to jail. You are supposed to be let off. Because in Ghana, your Akuffo omodi bonia, omye underage, omye overage. In Akuffo, almost now, so some of them are in jail. Now, the second part of the argument omu make here, I say, is deliberate. Unim say, omo pass a bill now. In 14 days, I will say Akuffo sign. In 14 days, I will say Akuffo a sign. Now, so I'm signing in 14 days, that means to say, as we speak, you know, it goes against the constitution. He needs to sign it. Now, because Omo Pese Akuffo the best signing tea, Omo Mubi, I no say only the onye NPP ni or the assembly court. Now say after marking kase eye emrana or not na parliament emomujitu muno. Sam rano too vague on some things. The issue is say a shemra o Ghana. That is why we have an option to amend. Emrebia o Ghana biano. We have an option to amend. If today we are putting this out, even in America, LGBTQ places anti-LGBTQ, and I say when it comes to LGBTQ issue in court, every single day court, people are taking it to court, and then they are amending by states. States be amending because ebia state be mrano, sibia LGBTQ. Etia na say eye open no, obas our state where enya fully open sir. Into what is stopping him as a legislator? The first step was to pass the law. The second step is for you as a legislator, look at the law and see whether it needs amendments. Into Ebia, you pass the law no vaguely, and you feel say some of the things in there, they are brushing on so many things. They are supposed to be specific. They don't fall in the LGBTQ category, and they are supposed to be taken out. LGBTQ for the Krampodo, some of their sanctions are too harsh. We are not supposed to do that. It is the job of the legislator to sit down and look at the bill or the law and say, no, this part needs to be amended. And you have every right to do that. So why are you stopping the president from signing? Let the president sign and then amend the law. And as time goes on, a woman you think say it is not right, because Metiano, I will not love it when somebody goes after somebody and say me them into me gay for I don't agree to that. That is why when a law is passed, there is the opening for amendment. There is the opening for us to sit down and look at the law again and see that some places we did not look at it well. And it's that people are calling for the amendment of the Constitution. If people are calling for the amendment of the whole constitution, then it means the constitution now in 1992 we put together. No? We believed to say everything in the constitution was perfect. But as time went on, no, we began realizing said the constitution itself is not as perfect as we thought. In the South Ghana constitution, amendments have been made. But the constitution was passed. In 1992, you ever passed the constitution? There were some people who were against the constitution, but the constitution was passed. But as time went on, we have been able to look at the constitution, amend the constitution. Fundamentally, it was going against their rights. Those things have been rectified. So as we speak today, what is stopping you as a legislator starting to look at the bill, even though it has been passed, and making sure say Akuffo to sign or you come to parliament and say no, you want to amend this because you are also a legislator and you think this part and this part of the bill, it is not right. Why are they not doing it? But quickly, they are relying on the Supreme Court because they are buying time, because they are fooling you, because they know somewhere Jimmy.
Waiting in some Ahodo Pia, a course or our channel. So, Shannon, so mama say, ubiti me a review comment under the comment section in your home call, Mami Hu Yiba. Subscribe to the channel, na afi, comment, share, hit on the notification bell. Said the bear next time be and the other for be able to also once I beat me a day. Akabi. Shannon, so mama say, I say a POG Media. Me query number the rade, bangbo, and na ejawo. Nti da foforo adomru ane de adom yenia ye besan ehia wo channel yeso hye no so mam say ahase APOG Media.